Have I found an extremely rare HO train set? I think I might have. KMT Santa Fe passenger set. KMT, they were huge in O gauge back in 2-rail and 3-rail. Back in the 50s and 60s, went through some changes. I've never found anything on HO. This is an absolutely amazing set. It was donated to the channel by a fella that I used to work with. His name is Brian, over there at the hobby shop that's now unfortunately closed down. It's taken me forever to put this video together because of the research to try to find out anything about KMT. Very difficult for the HO stuff. Beautiful looking set. Let's get into it, show you what it looks like. Let's take a second to cast our peepers on this set box right here. My camera is, I can't get it far enough away to get the whole thing in there. Super interesting. Advertising that it's engineered to NMRA standards. I just, trying to date the box. Here we got a price tag of $39.50. This is that really old tape that's got the string inside of it. Uh-oh. Ish. Oh, yeah. And all the stickum is gone. Not much going on this side over here. Duplicating it on this side. Over here, though, we got a number, H22-765. But this is the interesting part. They're in the bags. They are still in the bags. Track is missing, which is fine. I mean, we've all seen track. Golly, how to get this out of there without dropping it on the ground. Whose idea was this? Honest. This thing right here keeps hanging up all the way out. God. Oh, the front coupler is broken. It's got these scale little non-operational couplers. Sure. Oh, this thing. Oh, my. It's nicked up in the front there. There's numbers on the number board. 2-805. That's what it says. Yeah. Aluminum extruded passenger cars. My faves. Look at that. They're so clean. Here's a KMT. I don't know if that's the part number for the chassis. Non-operating couplers. Aluminum cast trucks. Hoy. Look at the roof on that thing. Oh my. It shines. Oh, it's the first time I've ever seen this out of the box. I've just been kind of storing it. 424-3. Yep. That's just the model number for the chassis down below here. Operating doors. Yes. Aluminum extruded ends. Oh my goodness. And they're somewhat heavy too. They don't appear to be lighted. Wow. 4 screws holding them on. Yeah, 4 screws that hold the body on. Well, we're gonna have to eventually get inside there. Yeah. What else is, anything cool in here? 70s powder stuff. Very nice. Sure, yeah. They were the shiniest dang cars I have ever seen. Oh, man. Man. What if it runs? We should put it on the track. Just see if it does anything. Oh. 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 Oh, yeah, it's dry. It's dry. Sure, yeah, I still got cotton. Oh, man. Well, time to get into it. See what we got to do to fix her up. As much as I don't want to cover this all up, I want to protect this body. I wish it was more than just a dang Santa Fe F7. God, I've got like 9 million of these. Looks like the body pops off a lot like an Athearn, which makes sense. Oh, but wait. We got to take that coupler off right there. Holding the whole show together. Okay, now what do we got going on? Well, sure. Got all the steps. It's got a closed-in pilot. No light. Looks like the motor's isolated from the chassis. I suppose these screws here are going to hold in the motor. Brass wheels. Super dirty. We're going to get one of these. Put our parts in. Looks like the gear towers. Got a little screw down under here. 1. Second, come on. Here we go. Yeah. And that's going to take this upper gear out. Oh, golly. One little dog bone drive line. This bolster pin is insulated from this rubber washer here. To remember to put that on. More screws. 2 back here. Ah, they're longer than I gave them credit for. Yeah, sure, a little shorter. This one's gonna fight me till the end of time. Come on, there. Here, finally. Jeez. Take this wonderful thing. Oh my goodness, look at that. Brass worm gears. Oh, we got little nylon gear here on a drive shaft. Nylon gears here. I am seeing brass bushings right there. Ooh, with thrust washers. So much happy. Absolutely no grease to be found whatsoever. These, there's some flex. Makes me wonder, yeah, the side frame. Oh, now it's loose on this part right here. You can see the flex going on. Is it supposed to be? I mean, you know, you'd think you'd be able to take the trucks off. Making me a little nervous. So we're down to these. Well, that's pretty straightforward. Love how the pickups come through here. Yep. Sure. Well, we're gonna have to take this upper gear tower apart. So I have to know. Okay. Sure. Well, this project makes me super happy because I don't have to clean up a whole bunch of dried up grease because there isn't any on it whatsoever. I think what I will do is I'll take this fiberglass pencil and I'll clean up these wheel surfaces here. Pick these up on Amazon. Look up fiberglass pencil. They'll show up. Yep. We're going to shine the wheels and come back and reassemble this truck and lube it. Yep. I got to tell you, when I did this Atlas loco here a couple months ago, a couple episodes back, I thought it was the absolute most best engineered locomotive I've encountered yet so far. But this thing, oh my, it is amazing. It's amazing. We got us a clean set of wheels now. I'm going to come underneath here with some synthetic oil, multi-purpose in the lightweight category. I almost got to buy a new jug here. This is getting, after 77 locomotives, I'm starting to get a little low. We're going to give a little love to these bushings in here. I love these. I love these bushings. It's so amazing. Thrust washers in there. Oh my goodness. Somebody has made a masterpiece. I'm telling you. A little in there in this one. Yeah, a little bit more over here for this one. Oh, get it where it needs to go now. Come on. Put these back in the frame. I think this is plastic. It doesn't feel like aluminum at all. One thing to be wary of, I just noticed. There's an insulator right there on that axle and that wheel. We got to make sure we put these both in the same way. But another thing that's super important is they got to be opposite of what these ones are. Here's the insulators sitting right here. So when we put this truck in, them insulators have got to be on the other side. Yep. So that way the juices don't short out. I wonder if this truck frame assembly is asymmetrical. I'm hoping that it is. Put this little feller back in there, making sure that them bushings are in the right spot. This is only going to go on one way, and it means it. It ain't messing around. Them bushings have got flat spots. They got to go in a certain way to keep them from spinning. Yes, yes. Little, just barely noticeable flat spots. Aha. Yep. More bushings here. This one's easy to grease because you can actually get right where it needs to ride. Loving it. Does it have flat spots on it too? Yes, it sure does. Barely noticeable right there. Gosh. Gonna use some of this super lube on the gears. I like to oil the bushings and I like to grease the gears. Little dab will do you on both of them. I'm gonna roll this and help spread it out. Another little taste right here. We did everything right. This should all close up without jamming it. Don't jam it. One screw. Yep, everything still spins nice. Got this gear tower here. Little oil down inside that bushing. I like to give this a little super lube also, since we got her apart right now. I wonder if this is gonna be like one of those really quiet running locomotives. Boy, that'd be amazing. Get this gear tower put together. Little tiny screws. Oh man, that is so nice. Those threads are so amazing. Leave this one a little loose because the wire for the motor pickup's gonna go on it. Get just a little grease on this gear here also. Help out this process. Got to clean this other truck up and grease it. It'll be the exact same way this one was just done. Want to get into that motor though, eyeball that armature, see if it needs a good cleaning. So we'll get this truck out the way. I got to take it out because there's 2 more screws left to undo, and I'll never forgive myself if I don't take them out. So there's a piece of cork underneath there. It's got this frame insulated from the motor insulated from the frame. Sure, yep. Oh, there's one underneath of it too. Underneath this plate. A couple little bosses right there to help keep everything centered. Oh my. Loving this thing. I can see the armature down underneath here. It's not that dirty at all. I say we just give this a little bit of Earl loving right here. Some right there. Let's put this on a transformer. Bench run it. Sure, a little runtime. Got that commutator cleaned up. Yeah, I mean, it's practically brand new anyway. I wish I had paid closer attention. I pulled it out. So the motor only goes in one direction. Loving it. Engineers did not disappoint. And you know, like they normally do. Give those a bit of a snug in. Yep. Thing still turns. Yep. Insulated bearings are on there. Yes. Put the little insulative washer on. Make sure it's centered up. Okay. Little drive line. Time it up with the gear tower and bolt her back in. One there. One for over here. On this side. Put our connection, our pickup wire on it. How are my insulators? Yep, my insulators are doing good. I'm gonna service this truck up. We'll be right back to give her a test run on the track. See how good she sounds. Here on the Saturday nights, I like to go up and wet the whistle at the local VFW here in the Billings area. I can tell that I'm now officially old, because old people sit around and visit with me. Yeah, there was a little uproar, little happening taking place last time we were up there. The VFW, for those of you that don't know, it's a Veterans of Foreign War. It's for veterans. It's a social club, but it's open to the public. So this one weird guy wandered in and weirded out the entire crowd. So when it was time to help this feller out the door, a lot of us younger guys, I'm 55 and I'm like the youngest, one of the youngest guys to go there. We went up and made sure this guy got out the door safely. Now, I can bend over and put my socks on and put my back out for a week. It's some of the joys of aging. So I made sure I stood behind this fella right here. Because, you know, look at him. Nicest guy. He's the post commander up at the VFW in Glasgow, Montana. His name's Jason. And I bet you can't tell it, but he used to be a Marine. Oh, wait, sorry. I understand that once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. He's not an active Marine. That's what throws me off. But anyway, hey, now that we got this little thing put together, let's put it up on the track and see how it runs. 4 volts. Starts moving at. Yes. It's pretty quiet. I'd stop yapping, you'd be able to tell, huh? Pretty happy with that. What kind of creep speed do we get though? Down to about 3 volts. We get down to 2.5. She's just not having it. Yes. Still moving. Very impressive. Very impressive. Let's get on them passenger cars and clean them up. Put this together. Put this set in. My hand is holding a tripod thingy, so I can't. Let's get them all together. Yes. These cars seem awfully heavy. So I want to get a little rundown exactly how much are they weighing and what they're supposed to weigh. They should weigh 6 ounces. It's almost twice the amount of, oh, now what happened? 12.3 ounces. Holy moly. Twice as heavy as they should be. Whew. Now in my book, these things don't have any oxidation on them, so I don't want to wax them. I think I'm going to try some of this on them. I don't know, it looks like they might want to have some waxing. I think I'm going to wax the roofs. I just want it, there's a little scratches in there. I just want it to pop. That's probably too much. Let's just see what we can do. While we wait for that to dry, we're gonna make sure to give all these little axles in here just a little taste. A little bit down under here. Just some. Do it on this side. We're gonna do it to all the cars. Just to make them one more better. Give that wax a little chance to dry. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes, please. Jeez, please. Wow, that's amazing. Such nice, unbelievably nice classic passenger cars here. Boggles my mind. Holy, I don't even hardly want to touch them. Let's put this together and finish up all these cars. I got all the wheels oiled up. Let's get it on the track. Here's the KMT shell, and here is a Athearn shell. Somebody's done a little extra dolling up on it, giving it the old A-B comparison. Sure does look like the same dang thing to me. Mold marks. The only difference that I can see so far is there's just a little difference in the pilot up here. This one's, the KMT's more closed off. This one's a little more open. Athearn's always got two headlights on them. This one does not. Plus, this doesn't have a hole in it, so you can't light it. This one's got separate number boards. This one, they're molded in. Sure, who knows? Yep. Really poor coupler. Super easy, though, to update to a Katie if one was so inclined. I don't really want to change it. Want to leave it original. Strange how the box said it's NMRA standards, but it doesn't have an NMRA standard coupler on it. Because the first one was the XF2, also referred to as a horn hook. So it was like, was this made before they made the standards for it? Is this like a 1950s? Need some help here. I just don't know. Front one's been broken off. I'm gonna have to do a little digging to try to find that. That's gonna be a little tougher. Yeah. Put her on the track. I was talking about having a hard time researching this KMT stuff. Well, I've got a subscriber out there, his name's Frank, and he reached out to me and we were chatting one night and told me all kinds of stuff, gave me some great links to learn what KMT, what the heck is it? Most of the links that he shared with me ended up coming from a website called Train Collectors Association Western Division. I'll share the links down below. A lot of the information I've always gotten from all my videos, a lot of it came from this one particular website. They got guys that are knowing what they're doing down there for research and stuff. KMT started out as a place that I'm going to call it Kusan. K-U-S-A-N. Could be Kusan. Looks like Susan with a K in front of it, so I'm going to go with Kusan. They used to be a plastic toy manufacturer back in the 50s and 60s, and they decided to get into the train world. Kusan purchased American Model Toys, Auburn Model Trains, AMT. It's weird when companies, how they've got different company names, but they use the same dang initials. And it'll continue on and on in this story. Well, they bought all the tooling from AMT back in 1954 and used it as a base of all their molds for their model train line. Kusan O-Gauge, it was pretty rare because it was able to run on either 2-rail O or 3-rail O to compete with Line L. They still kept the name Kusan Model Trains. Now in 1967, this feller comes by. His name is Andy Chris Wallace. He was an IBM employee. I don't know, maybe he invented the hardware or he was into something. The IBM was huge back then. He was also a model train enthusiast. So he bought the failing Kusan model trains and he started calling it Chris's Model Trains, but used the almost exact same logo and initials, KMT, which made it super hard to research all this stuff. Chris Model Trains, KMT, they were manufactured and sold by this feller, Andy Chris Wallace, out of Endicott, New York, from 1968 to 1982. Chris, he passed away here in 1990, still staying very active in model railroading. All the information that I ever found out there was mainly for their O-Gauge line. They made very realistic, more true to scale O-Gauge stuff compared to Line L and Marks. And they also dabbled in some S a little bit. And I found some HO cars made by KMT under Andy's leadership of the company. But I never did find any information on this particular set that I got here. I'm still thinking that it was made in the late 50s, early 60s. If you guys know anything about this, you know, of course, get down there and put it in the comments down below and help spread the information of what era, what was this? Was it an experimental one? I don't know. This Kusan O-Gauge stuff, no matter who made it, Kusan KMT or Andy's KMT, some of them are pretty rare. And on eBay, man, they fetch a pretty penny. Some of it is pretty common, goes for really cheap, and people don't know what it is. But if you are into the KMTO stuff, oh man, yeah, you might have some real gems there. The die molds from all of the KMTs and AMTs as they traveled on down the line ended up in the K-line catalogs. Tailor-made trucks Williams, which later got bought out by Bachmann, ready-made trains, and even some of the molds that Menards is using are some of the original molds from AMT, KMT from a long time ago. Let's get back into it. Them cars are lighted too. Holy moly. Well, now that I just found out that the cars are lighted, and they're of course, them wheels don't look metal on it at all. I'm gonna have to take one of these apart and eyeball it. See how it's working on the lighting. We'll do this rear one because it ain't lighting up at all. And these do not look like metal wheels. My curiosity is piqued. Looks like the countersunk screws go in the front and the normal machine screws, they go in the back. Carefully, careful. Well, gotta be dipped. Nice interiors. Vestibules are screwed on again. One right there for this end cap. Man, all these are nice. Holy jeez. So this truck is doing all the work. I gotta figure out where the conductive wheels are at. Horseshoe mode. So since the wheels are dirty, let's just clean up these wheels. They're obviously conducting. And I can see that there's just a bunch of filth on them. Clean them up with the old pencil here. See if we can make them conductive again. Well, that's better. At least it's working. But that flicker drives me insane. Wheels are all clean. Is that just part of the nature of the beast? These guys here, I haven't cleaned the wheels on. I'll clean them all up, but blah. I always hated that as a kid. Watching these things flicker as they go down the track. Huh. Well, let's clean up some wheels. Ended up putting some of this premium conductive grease underneath this portion right here to get the juices to flow. It's got to flow out of that nut. Well, it's got to flow out of this machine bolt up to here, and it's kind of crushed in between there with an insulative washer right there. And it's about 95% now. And you touch that premium grease and it gets all over. And I used a toothpick and it's all over my hands. So I gotta go wash and clean up all this stuff because I don't want to get it on the body. Oh, premium grease, this stuff is so nasty. Well, I guess it's just the nature of the beast. Guy could really fart with him a long time, but oh God, what do you do? What to do? Run the whole thing, that's what you do. Sure. Kind of makes a nice, kind of sounds like a diesel pulling. A consistent sound with the motor. Kind of neat. Oh, them cars. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Jesus. It's crazy. Crazy. Oh, sure. That looks... One that'll come out as nice on the shot. Who knows? Pulling up over here to the old passenger station. Yep, that one came out nice. It certainly did. Oh my goodness, they made sure made nice stuff back in the 60s or the 50s. Who knows? That was a fun journey learning about this tiny train manufacturer and its history and seeing this fantastic looking locomotive taken apart. Wow, this was great. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around, especially the 33%ers out there. Love ya. If you really enjoyed the episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Throw some comments down below. I'm Ron with Classic Model Trains. I'm going to hurry up and put this thing in the can so I can put it to bed so we can get it up here in just a couple hours. So thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.